Good morning. Uh, this is 27th of March, Wednesday. So days are flying, and so we just had a beautiful sharing. Things are beginning to get intensified. Things are beginning to shift. They're shifting because there is a huge source of energy around us, and environment also is highly energetic. And as this energy starts coming, we realize that sleep is going to be less because sleep is actually not required. This is how the saints and sages in the past used to be always in that energetic mode, and therefore they never required sleep. We are getting that kind of a prana now, and it's okay. We don't need that much. It's our mind says, "Oh, I'm not getting rest," but the body is actually fully rested because the reason why we sleep is to feel, to recoup the energy that we have used during the day. So it's time to just recharge ourselves. So, but when the high energy come, it already is charging us up. So we do not need that sleep. That's why it's much better to do what a lot of you have done, not bothered about sleep and got up and meditated, or just continue to enjoy this experience, because the discomfort comes, restlessness comes because the mind wants to sleep. Mind is saying, I have not slept, and that's where we start to feeling tired. But actually, if you just get up and continue to do what the energy is showing you, you feel released. This is also a trap. Like we've said, we are so conditioned, and when we open ourselves up, and this is really what I have been sharing with you all these years, is how I live my life, without any routine, without any fixed time of getting up. I get up when my body tells me to get up, and whether it is 3 in the morning or 3:30 or 2:30 or 4 or 5 or 6, your body knows best. So if you allow things to happen even for your body through the consciousness, then the mind is completely rested. And it's a mind which tells you, oh, I missed something, I should have done that, I should have done that. This should have, all rules are in the mind. But if you let go and surrender to the discipline of the consciousness, it's very beautiful. It's so relieving. It just lets you be away from this big heavy load that we carry all the time of our mind. All the do's and don'ts exist in your mind. When God created this world, He created it for our enjoyment. He never created it, all those rules came much later. So 2 things I want to say before we start with the session of today. One is that we're all in this highly energetic field. We are all receiving a lot of knowledge from consciousness. But how much of this knowledge we are using, how much contemplation we are going to do of what we are hearing during the day, will actually tell us what's the shift going to happen. Because a retreat does, remember we use the word on the first day, what retreat means. Retreat, go inside and withdraw your 5 sense organs, withdraw your 5 action organs, and all your desires, just pick them up. But are we actually following it or not? Are we contemplating upon what's happening during the day? Because if we don't, then you're losing. And I see this happening. I see that instantly as we break out, and move into the next session, or we go out for food, or our monkey mind starts to chatter again. And that's how we operate. Suddenly we are into chit 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 chit, chit mode, and whatever we have gained, we just lose it. So that's why Baba used to say that whenever we finish our session, we say, why do we finish with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti? Was that you carry the energy of the Sangha, you carry the divine energy that has come to you, and go in silence. So that means eating the food, after that, you eat in silence. And you take it in. And then you go and spend some time in silence so that you're able to absorb everything inside. But we have to ask ourselves, do we do that? And or do we find, because we are all here meeting, and we want to enjoy each other's company, and then we want to just not be in our room, but we want to be with each other and chatting, and so those are the questions. I'm not going to comment on it. I'm just saying you have to ask yourself this question: why are you here? And we do want to enjoy each other's company, create a time for that. But this is also a period of intense sadhana, which we should take advantage of it. Okay, so this is a time for great transformation and change. And that, remember, the precursor of any change, transformation, is to build awareness. And the awareness is built through Manana. If you will not do Manana, if you will not do contemplation, Nidhi, dhyasana is not going to happen. So it's imperative that we also figure out for ourselves what are those zones of silence and contemplation, and especially after we've gone through a strong session. Or do we want to sit together and have fun? Fun is also important, but you create a basket for that. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. And the other thing is, the first day I also said, I think I sent a message on the group saying, you're all having great experiences, and I hope you are making notes of your experiences. It's very essential that each one of us goes back in the room at whatever time, at the end of the day or during half day, whatever. Plus, please note down what you're experiencing, because this is very important, what's happening to you, and you should be able to see how things shifted. And these notes are only for yourself. You don't have to share it here, but it's important to, because there is a lot of work happening here. Some you are experiencing directly by hearing, some is happening onto you, some you're observing the others. So through that, how do you make sure that it is retained is to take notes. And to taking notes, the right time for taking notes is when you contemplate. Then what you remember, the intensity and the earnestness and the alertness with which we listen to things is what is learning all about. Because I have always believed, this was true when I was a student also. And I have seen it with people from different walks of life, that when they are writing, they are not listening. They are listening only so that they can write. The whole attention is, I should not lose everything. But they're not understanding it. It's just making notes. But if you only listen intently so that you can understand. You see, when you understood something, then it's gone in. It can't just pop out. But when you're just busy writing, then you are mechanical, because the whole attention and focus is on writing. So the best time to do notes is at the end, when you want to remember what you have learnt. And And if you will not learn to trust your instincts of listening, you have to, how do you develop your listening skills? By telling your listening skills, your ability, that I trust you. When I'm busy writing, I am telling my listening, understanding skill that I don't trust you. I trust what I have written. But remember, that time you are not understanding anything. You're just you're writing. And then later on, a lot of times, in school it used to happen that afterwards, when we read our notes, we are not able to, fully remember what did I write. I wrote something the master said, but what context was it? So if you've understood, and then at the end you make a note, it is coming from your understanding, and then you never have to actually look at your notes because it is imprinted in you. And that's how the old method of teaching was an oral method of teaching. So this is how you train your skills, you train your senses. You write your experiences at the end of the day, not in the beginning of the day or the middle of the day, because the whole day things have happened to you. And if every day, first day when you want to write, you may be able to write only, let's say, 3 lines, 4 lines, because that's all that you remember from what has happened. Because the skill of yours of retention, of trying to remember what has happened during the day, is not trained. Every skill has to require training, practice. But every day if you tell yourself, I will not sleep till I write, what will happen? Every night you will start remembering a little more than the other day. And slowly over the days, it will become a habit. And now you will be listening very intently. So this habit of writing in the end of the day will help you to start listening much more intently. So it helps all through this. Right? Just by listening intently and by, making notes at the end of the day is how Teresa has finished writing her book, and soon, her book is going to be published. Right? Because the book is all about her experiences. So this message has gone to everybody. I don't know how much of, it you are practicing, but I'm just saying that I will, or any teacher will just tell you things, will just point out things to you. Because remember, it's our life. We keep moaning, we keep, saying, complaining, that we keep lamenting that things don't happen for us. The only reason things don't happen for us is because we don't follow what is being said. We keep doing what we are doing. And I think I've done it to death. But what do I do? The teacher keeps repeating the same things. That if you keep doing what you're doing, then what will keep happening in your life is what's happening to you. It's common sense actually. But none of us think about it. We keep saying, but I do this, but I do this, but I do this. But that's why you are there, no? Come on, if you want to experience something else, you got to do something else. But it just doesn't go in. It's so simple, and we are all teachers, and we are all parents and grandparents, and we have these roles. We tell this to our children, but we don't follow it ourselves. So this is mind. This is conditioning of the mind. So I want you to be now your own teachers and tell yourself, come on, it's okay. I have done this so much. Now let me do something else also, no? Then only that experience will come. So allow that experience to come to you. Be open. Be open. Then new winds will come, new seasons will come, new flowers will come, new things will come in our life. What if I say, I am happy with this? And yesterday also another one thing I wanted to pick up and tell auntie about this. We talk about yad bhavam tad bhavati. Okay? Everything is divine. Right? If we say, let's say, an example last night was shared, that if you lose some things, right? If you lost something, then you Somebody shared a particular mantra and said, by chanting this mantra it comes. It happens, why? Because, you chanted, something happened, we start putting our faith in it. Right? Whatever we believe to be true starts happening in our life. Right? And when we keep repeatedly doing it, repeatedly it's coming not because of the mantra, it's coming because we now start to believe in this mantra. And therefore, 10 different people will do 10 different totkas, 10 different things of, doing it. For each one of them, it works. It is nothing to do with this mantra, but what do we get stuck? You remember that story of Vedanta that is shared so many times of a priest who would actually, when he would start the yagna, he would, in the list of the items that he had to order for the yagna, he would always ask for a cat to be brought and a big basket to cover the cat. Yeah, have you heard that story? No? Yeah, you have. So this is a story that in the list of items for the yagna, there was always a cat that was required. And the cat had to be then put in a basket. So then one day somebody asked him that, we understand this yagna that you're doing, but what is the need of having a cat over there? He says, I don't know, my father taught me like that. So then they went to the father and they said, why? He said, my grandfather, taught me this. So they went to the grandfather and they said, why? What is the relevance of the cat? He said, no, when I used to do a yagna at that point of time, these rats used to disturb a lot. So we actually got the cat over there. The idea of the cat was so that the rat would not come. And now the cat started to disturb the yagna. So what did they do? They put it in a basket. So we are all like that actually, if you see. We all have our totkas. We all have our ways. I will chant Hanuman Chalisa. I will chant this. I will chant that. It is what we have created. And then, we say, it works for us. Of course it will work for you because you believe in it. Whatever you believe in it. Valmiki, before he became Valmiki, he was saying Mara, 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 Mara. Right? He believed in it, it became Rama for him. Right? That is the power of your belief. That's the power of your faith. It's nothing else. We Indians, for example, we believe in Kala, right? Time. We do Shani and we do this and we do that, right? And we believe there has to be an auspicious time, there has to be an auspicious date, right? So that means all our marriages happening on the auspicious time should actually be very, very fruitful, but they are not. Okay? All the things that happen, as per all the charts should be very good, but they are not like that. Some are, some aren't. Then that means all the other people in the world, the Muslims and the Christians, they don't believe in it. That means they are all inauspicious. Everything goes wrong for them. But that is not true. Right? Within India also we have Sanatana Dharmis and we have Arya Samajis. Arya Samajis don't bother about any of this. In our home, we said Saturday, Sunday, which is a good day, let's do the marriage. Right? So, point is, what you believe in actually works for you. So, it's all about understand the principles, but what do? We catch on to that. No, this mantra works. Right? So, I want to tell you, please, it's all you. It has nothing to do with that mantra. Just because you believe it works, it will always work for you. This is it. Learn the principles, as I keep saying. Take the juice, throw away. This mantra is the peel and the flesh. What you are looking for from life is the juice. Vedas are the peel and the flesh. The Upanishads are the juice. Go for the juice, because we don't have time to start reading everything and looking at this and bringing more knowledge in. Go for the essence. Clever one just looks at the essence of what I am getting inside. That's what it is. What you have to decide is for yourself, and therefore I am always telling you and teaching you and explaining to you the basic fundamentals and principles of what is enshrined in the Upanishads. Okay, it's for you to pick up that and use it in your life. Having understood what it is, and then say, I want to go for this and not the peripherals. You can spend your entire time in peripherals and get lost in it, or say, no, I want to go and take the essence in my life and become that essence. And then it is not just a mechanical chant. Then you're trying to see, as I said in the morning, when I started to chant the Nirvana Shatakam, for me, I took weeks on each line and I said, where am I on? It's very simple to say, Mano, Buddhi, Ankara, Chitta, Nina. And singing it and, making an audio, it makes no sense. It's just for there. But when I say Mano, Buddhi, Ankara, Chittani, Naham. Naham means no, I am not this. So I am not Mana, I am not Buddhi, I am not Chitta, I am not Ankara. And then next 4 weeks, 5 weeks should go in doing an internal audit of yourself. How much is my Mana working? How much of my Buddhi I am using, right? How pure is my Chitta? And what about my Ankara? Where is my ego? I would be stuck on one line and I would start to look at, so this is how I practiced. That if I can chant, I understand the meaning. But I will not chant it again till I have mastered this. That's a challenge. Take months, years of work on it. Then starts coming a power in you. Because you're doing something with this chant. You're going much beyond. Take it to the next level. No, as I told you the other day, this path is you take the next step forward, you burn the ladder behind you. What you were doing yesterday, if you keep doing that, then you are a prisoner. You move to the next level of consciousness. In the next level, you do not read the same books that you read in school, don't you? When you are in university, you read in university textbooks. Then when you go to PhD, though it's the same subject, but the textbooks change. The level of detail, the level of understanding of the same physics or mathematics as a subject changes. You don't say, elementary maths, no. You change. But what do we do? Look at your own behavior. Look at this is an internal dialogue. This is a dialogue I am inviting you to have this dialogue with yourself. But what do we do? Whatever we have learned, we just keep doing that. Yes, good. That, I'm not saying that is incorrect. That has brought us here. And that has worked very well for us. Now, we are praying to God, we want to go next step forward, isn't it? So if we keep doing what we are doing, then we'll remain here. But if you want to step forward, you'll have to take that step forward. No, you can't say by standing here, why am I not moving forward? Why am I not moving forward? Because I'm not stepping forward. So got to go and do something that you have not done before. That means instead of standing there, go forward. That if you understand what I'm telling you, and if you believe that is correct, then you will do something about it. And you will ask yourself, and you will ask me this question, what should I do? But nobody comes back on this because we just that is a change. And then, as I said, it is a self-propelling path. Because once you take that one step forward, you will already be now eagerly looking forward to take the next step forward. Now you want to understand, I want to go forward. And as she says, that's it. And that will keep happening. And you'll now be running like a child. I want to do this. Because you've broken free from the prison of your past conditioning. Because we are very happy with doing our habits. It's like Uncle saying, the minute the mantra, order is changed, what happened? I've done this all my life. I'm suddenly uncomfortable. I want you to be uncomfortable. I want you not to predict anything at all. I want you to break it and say, I'm breaking this and I'm going to do something that I want to do. Right? You move forward. Class 1, class 5 syllabus was this. You want to go further, no? Step beyond the limits of it. You have done that enough. And now you step forward. And that is how new things start coming in. But then we remember, oh no, but Swami said this. Swami said this at that time to you, 20 years back, 30 years back, when you were in the beginning class. You're not the same person, you're moving forward. Your time is ticking fast, but you just remained on that. This we never think. We never have this dialogue with ourselves. That for everybody the syllabus changes, my syllabus, why is it still the same? And then we find a way, which I keep saying, we find a way of doing things which we call as coping mechanisms. Like Auntie found her coping mechanism that, okay, it will not happen with me, I will just, do my chanting. So it becomes a mechanism. Until Baba comes and says, no, meditation, you can't do this and do Jyoti meditation, but do meditation. Because the benefit of meditation can only come from meditation. Chanting can only give you Chitta Shuddhi. But meditation has to come in. So there is a way that the experience will come. So we have to, and if this dialogue she was able to do with herself, all of us, if we do this dialogue within ourselves, things will start shifting. Because we find comfort in what we have found a technique for us, and we are happy with that, that's why we remain stuck. That's all. The day that principle is understood, you yourself will find a way to break it. And the day you do not accept that, and that's why I say, our problem is our lack of acceptance. And the day the acceptance comes, charging, beautiful, everything will start shifting, it will be beautiful. And then that breakthrough can come any minute. So Baba had to come directly to make the breakthrough with her, and look at now how she will grow. She will run like this. I had been waiting for years, she was the only one I always spoke so much, because I know she's stuck there, and she would say, no, I'm okay. But once she starts moving, she will, she's so intelligent that she will leave everybody behind. It's just a question of, the story between the story of the bamboo and the fern. You know that story, no? Two seeds were planted. One was a fern and one was a bamboo. They started to water it. Within few weeks, the fern started to come out. In 6 months, the fern came out. It was this high. And the bamboo, nothing came out. Within 1 year, the fern became almost 5 feet tall. The bamboo just didn't come out. By the end of the second year, fern was 8 feet tall. Bamboo had not come. By the end of 6th year, suddenly the bamboo started to come out and the fern was already 12 feet. But within 6 months, the bamboo grew to 30 feet tall. And the fern was still at 12 feet. So, there is a time for everything. So, the answer to Uncle's question the other day, why it didn't happen to me earlier? Why did I have to play this game? Why did I lose my awareness? But that's the timing, that's the game. It has to happen at the right moment. Right? And she was not willing to come here. And something brought Auntie here this time, right? So it has to be. And she's the only one who sits like a queen over there. So it's okay. But it is her moment has to come now. But it does come. You have to surrender to that. That is surrender. Okay, I'm going, something's going to happen. So, please use this time for this inner contemplation with what we are experiencing, what we are hearing. Go back when we are not having sessions and say in the evening at this time for an hour, 2 hours, we are all going to spend time together and laugh and also have fun. Right? But don't do it at the cost of not doing your manna. Right? And whatever are your experiences of the day, please do write it down because these are very important things that are happening. There's a shift beginning to happen. And we have to wait till Sunday. A lot of things are going to keep building up every day. More and more energies and more clarity is going to start coming. Because it's a very powerful time. I can't tell you, how consciousness chose this date. I have no clue. But I'm telling you, this is the most powerful time in the last so many years. And we are here on a retreat. It is such a profound and most beautiful time. So things are going to happen and they'll keep shifting and shifting and shifting. Yeah. What will happen on the last day? Will happen. So, yeah, because if we understand this, then we are, and as I said, firstly, again, I'm repeating, take responsibility of your learning and take responsibility of this shift that you have to create. Right? Only by doing something, something shifts. So keep breaking your patterns, keep breaking your habits, keep questioning, your limit. If you think this is your limit, I saw Sonia yesterday. We actually climbed a very steep hill. Right behind, there's a point where the hill becomes almost vertical like this. This is almost like a ski slope. Vanita remembers. Okay, she was scared when we went first time up. She had a fear of slopes, and on the way down, she says, "I'm getting dizzy. I can't come down." It's actually quite steep. And that day, then I held her hand and I brought her down. Huh? So I saw something very interesting because I and Asmi walked very fast up. Asmi was also getting tired. I was pushing her. Come on, Asmi, you and I can do it. You and I can do it. So from the top, we were watching. She was walking. You know what she was doing? She picked up a stone, and she would throw a stone a little further up. Okay? And she would walk now to catch that stone. I was watching her very intently. She would go pick it up and then she would throw the stone further up. And then she would, and I could see she was motivating herself that it's only this much. I just have to pick up the stone. I was watching her and I was saying, so beautiful. I didn't get time to talk to her about it. I suddenly remembered now. Because I was watching intently without taking notes. And it occurred to me, how brilliant is this? All she was doing, she was pushing her boundaries. I know she's just climbed once before, and that time I had to hold her hand and I had to carry her. But this time she determined she was going to walk. And she found a technique. She was egging herself. I just have to pick this stone up. So brilliant, she walked. This is what simple. I was trying to, the minute I put my handkerchief, I was trying to put my handkerchief further and further. I suddenly remembered. My consciousness brought me to what I saw yesterday morning. A real life example. So this is what Dattatreya meant, that there are so many gurus. Actually, if you are an aware person, you are watching everything like a hawk. Ladies call me a hawk. They say you're a hawk. You see things even when you're not there. Last night we were actually going back. Okay, suddenly I remember one more example. And we got down over there. Vijay Lakshmi got down and opened the gate. So it was dark in the night. Then we went, and close to our home, she suddenly said, "Where is my shawl?" She couldn't find her shawl. And then, so I slowed down the cars, thinking that we might have to go back looking for the shawl. Then I said, "Look," they said, no, the shawl is not in the car. I said, "No, look down on the floor. The shawl is there on the floor." And she found the shawl, right? On the floor of the car. So, this is awareness. Because it flashed to me that when she got down, I saw her in the back getting down. And I remember nothing had fallen down. So, slowly as your awareness expands, your consciousness shifts, there is so much that you know. In that instant, this example, last night's example, why they come to me? Because I live in this one field of consciousness. And this consciousness is telling me constantly everything. No memory, no taking notes. The whole world opens up in front of you. So this is all that what you have to do. If you decide to walk on this path, if you decide to break this barrier, you can do it yourself. A little bit. But if you make yourself comfortable and say, "No, I'm happy with this, you go and you do it. I don't like it." Well, that's it. that day every growth stops, because you built a cage for yourself. You are like that golden hen which likes to sit in that cage and says, I'm the mother goose, I'm the mother hen, I would love to be there. And you know what happens to that kind of a hen? One person comes and he says, it's in the cage, it's easy, no? The one who's opened the cage is running, it's very difficult to catch a hen. Yeah? But the one who likes to stay in the cage, what happens? Somebody will come and say, okay, let me kill the golden goose. So this is the problem. This happens because we are not talking, we are so full in our head with our knowledge and I know this. We have stopped learning. The Tattreya said, can you imagine a guru like him saying, I am willing to learn from everybody. I am willing to learn from every element of nature. He was so humble. If you are open, if you are aware, then we learn from everybody around us. That's it. It's such a fun, this life, this birth, this human birth is such a gift. It is to be enjoyed like a child who comes, look at Asmi, how she's enjoying, look at children without doing anything, they enjoy it. Actually, the problem is when they grow up, is when they start saying we are bored. I remember when my children were young, because both me and my wife only loved to go into mountains and forests and remote places where there was nobody else. My children used to be so happy playing in a forest, in a mountain, in a stream, and they never wanted any shops or any entertainment or any games. Right? This problem started only when they grew up. So why? What will we do over there? Why? This is so boring. Right? But the kid is, what is a kid doing? Kid is happy to play with anything that is available. I remember once we had gone to this Swami Rama's cottage in Tadkeshwar. Tadkeshwar is a place beyond Lansdowne. It's in a forest about 60-70 kilometers from Lansdowne. And it's in the middle of a forest. There is a Shiva temple. And it is deep in the forest. There is no electricity over there, or at least when we went, there was no electricity. And there is Swami Rama's beautiful cottage there. And we went over there and we stayed in Swami Rama's cottage. And I remember there was no light. We didn't know that actually there's no electricity there. And it was quite scary because, suddenly it becomes dark, you're in the forest and there is no power. And you have a small lantern over there. But the kids were so happy running around. And now they need, all those facilities and they need all the other things. So because they've got, spoiled by that. Earlier they were out their cage and they were so happy. Now this phone is a cage because on that is Netflix and Prime Video and every entertainment. They just want to, lie inside and just keep watching all the time. So it's like that. For us also, we've created our cages. So I'm just giving you examples for you to understand what I'm talking about. That if you are open, then the world is there for us to see. Like a curious child, we can figure out. Experiment. Understand the principle. The principle allows you to experiment. If you understand. But if you are prisoner of a conditioned practices, then you become ritualistic and you get caught in it. You are not able to progress further. Do you see what I'm saying? That's it. Take the essence, take the juice. This is what I did. I'm telling you, I progressed only because of this. I remember I told you the example of I was not happy. In 6 months, I left the post of the convener of the study circle. The study circle in charge, because I said, what are they doing? They're all parrots. They want to come and show how much they have read about Swami. But I would ask them, but what experience do you have? We used to say, no, but we are supposed to talk. I said, but that you can read, everybody can read. Why are we having a study circle? It's not experiential. He said, no. I said, I'm not interested in it. All my life I've done this. I have refused things. I've challenged every authority. I've challenged if somebody says don't hug, I said I will hug. Because I don't see any wrong. If I feel something wrong, I am ready to learn lessons. But if there is love and it needs to be expressed, it will be expressed. Go, make your path. I've had the courage all my life to walk on my path. Whether I was in the corporate, whether I was in a Sai Samiti, whether I was in a Sai ashram, they said wear white clothes all the time. And I said, what does white stand for? Purity. The idea Baba was saying, being white, become pure. I saw all these guys, where is purity? Even in an ashram when they serve food, the person who is serving food, if you take a little bit extra, they are getting angry at you. No, you cannot eat here. You go there and eat. With such anger they will talk. If you are somebody, if they know you are somebody, sir. And you are going around the villages and the world to do Annapurna Seva and you call yourself Annapurna. You can't even feed properly, to the people who come there and you treat them so badly. What is this? And then they say, you wear white. I say, I'm sorry. I'm good in colored clothes. At least I don't have to carry this burden of being white. So I said, I should rather be white inside than wearing white outside and carrying this pretense of being pure. Let me work for inner purity, not for this outer garments. God was giving a sign. I have taken the indication. I will work till only on this purity. This is how I saw it. I'm not saying you should do this, right? I'm saying this is how I have trained myself. And I said that if this is pure, nobody can object to what I'm doing. And frankly, nobody ever told me anything. Because, I was told that I would walk in the ashram. They said, you walk like a lion in this ashram. Everybody walks, you walk like a lion. They say that, one person who's done a double PhD in Brahma Sutra, he is a very wise man. He tells me, he says, whenever I see you, I remember Vedanta Kesari. You walk like a lion who walks with this, this light of knowledge in you. That has to come from practicing. Writing and knowing books is not important. Are you living that life? Are you practicing what you are teaching others? And when you do, people know the difference between the real, the authentic, and those who want to be like that. The copies and the original, the authentic and the inauthentic. It comes from our conduct. You have the power to go and face and look at everybody in the eye because you know the power of truth walks with you. I don't have to be truthful. I am truth. That clarity you should have. And when you have the clarity, the world will see the clarity around you and they will stop. And they will follow you because everybody wants. Remember, the problem in this world is only this: lack of role models, lack of people who can lead you into light. Guru, the one who leads you into light. If the Guru himself is in darkness, how can he lead you to light? Only if he is in light can he take you to the path of light. That's all.